Hello everyone, Constitutionalist Libertarian here, and in this video today we're going to be looking at an article published by Bloomberg, written by Billy House, and it was put out May 18th. House may need to vote again on GOP Obamacare repeal bill. Being the leftist little fucks they are at Bloomberg, they're going to put a title like this when it should read, Paul Ryan is being a whiny little bitch who don't like that Trump won the presidency and is now doing everything to stall to try to fuck Trump with his repeal of Obamacare. That would actually be a very accurate title, because that's exactly what he's doing. I mean, if you look at these two bullet points here, I guess you could call them that, after the title. 2 weeks after passage, measure still not sent to Senate. Well, that's because, as I said, Ryan's being a whiny little bitch who don't like the fact that Trump won. CBO report could force Ryan, other party leaders into redo. The CBO never used to have a say in our legislation. I mean, the Founding Fathers wrote it so you have 3 branches. And when it comes to the congressional branch, you have that split in 2. It wasn't, oh, well, we're going to make 3 sections to the congressional branch, and we're going to call one of them CBO. No, the Constitution says you've got the Senate, you've got the House. It doesn't say and the CBO, but yet this shitbag little group over there of pencil-pushing bureaucrats who are left-leaning, Democrat, Hitlery, Billy Clinton, frickin' Obama-loving little frickin' wastes of space, okay, they're never going to give a positive report for anything Trump does. He could literally, like, have a bill that cuts the budget in half, and they'll be like, that's going to cost us, a gazillion, bazillion dollars. I mean, that's how they are. So, where they've never used to have a say, why the hell are they even involved in this? Okay, that makes absolutely no sense. And Bloomberg is trying to make it sound like this is normal. Well, that's because they're left-leaning little shitbags, and Billy here is a left-leaning little shitbag, obviously. And you know what? He's pathetic. House Speaker Paul Ryan hasn't yet sent the bill to the Senate because there's a chance that parts of it may need to be redone, depending on how the Congressional Budget Office estimates it affects. House leaders want to make sure the bill conforms with Senate rules for reconciliation, a mechanism that allows for Senate Republicans to pass the bill with a simple majority. Well, here's the thing. It's already pretty much been written to meet Senate rules for reconciliation, because when you write the bill in the first place, you're going to actually look at that and go, you know what? Let's write this bill while we're writing it to make sure that it meets that requirement. Only a moron wouldn't do that. Yet, they're trying to make it sound like, hey, yeah. You know, we have to double check this. This is like the bullshit going on with Brexit where, oh, we should have another vote and stupid shit like that. Okay, this is no different. But the thing is, okay, the Congressional Budget Office has no say in this, should not have any say in this, and why would they need to redo it? Because it's literally cutting Obamacare, it's opening up the market, it's getting rid of tax penalties. Oh, that's right, the whole tax thing. They're going to go and say, well, that's going to cost us this amount of money, but you have to get rid of this first in order to move on to other stuff, as Ryan said, because he's trying to freaking cause a freaking problem where you end up in this never-ending fucking loop, so Trump gets nothing done because he's a little shitbag waste of space who has had money funneled to him through George Soros' associates and family. Yet, he thinks he's going to friggin' play games like this and get away with it. We know what you are, Paul. You're a piece of shit little scumbag. Republicans had to rush to vote on the health bill so that the Senate could get a quick start on it. Even before the CBO had finished analyzing a series of last-minute changes, the CBO is expected to release an updated estimate next week. Well, The CBO has no freaking say in this. They're just a bunch of pencil-pushing bureaucrats that go, okay, well, this is going to cost us this much. And they've never been right. The last time this was going up, they lied through their teeth. This whole thing of trying to repeal Obamacare, they lied through their teeth about it. And they were proven liars. But yet, does Bloomberg report on that fact? That they, inflated everything to make it look bad? Beyond belief? I mean, they padded it worse than a government contractor pads a $4 screwdriver, okay, to $4,000. They did even worse than that. Unaware, said Representative Jeff Denham of California, with noticeable surprise Thursday, when advised that his party leader still hadn't sent the bill over to the Senate. Well, of course, because they're keeping people in the dark, because Ryan is being a shitbag. Let's call it what it is. He's being a shitbag. Denham was one of the House Republicans who ended up voting for the measure after earlier in the week opposing it. So they get him over on this. He's thinking it's going to go over to the Senate. And you've got Paul freaking Ryan being the little shitbag that he is. Shitbag Ryan. Okay? You know, they should have kept Lion for Ryan. Ryan. I mean, I know Lion Ted. I got to give Trump credit for it, but this should be Lion Ryan. I mean, like the old garbage pail kid. Okay, types thing. I'm on the whip team, and we have a lot of conversations, but we have not had that one. So I'm going to look into it, said Denham, a member of the party's vote counting team. Well, of course he's going to look into it because Ryan's been keeping shit from him, and he's not a happy camper. You see, that's the thing, okay? He's supposed to be keeping people informed, but yet he's like, nothing to see here. Don't look at me being the sleazy car salesman type that I look like. I mean, he literally looks like someone that you would walk into a car dealership and have all over you like a cheap suit. That should say a lot. Downplaying concern. One senior GOP aide downplayed any concern over the potential trouble from the CBO report, depicting it as hypothetical and saying that leaders will cross that bridge if they need to. Well, of course, because it is hypothetical, but you see, you're trying to upplay the fact that, oh, we got to have the CBO report, because you're trying to make it sound like the CBO actually has some say in this shit, because you want the CBO, unelected bureaucrats, to actually have a say, because you're leftist-leaning little shitbags over at Bloomberg. It's that simple. According to several aides and other procedural experts, if Republicans send the bill to the Senate now, and the CBO later concludes it doesn't save at least $2 billion, it would doom the bill, and Republicans would have to start the repeal effort all over with a new budget resolution. Congressional rules would likely prevent Republicans from fixing the bill after it's in the Senate, the aide said. Oh, wait a minute here. You gotta love this paragraph. Or actually, yeah, it's a full paragraph, okay. I just had to look at how it's formatted with the page. But if it doesn't save at least $2 billion, it would doom the bill, and Republicans would have to start their repeal effort all over with a new budget resolution. Whoa. I'd be happy with several hundred million, $500 million, $1 billion. I mean, I'm sure a lot of Americans would love to see us save $1 billion. We're going trillions of dollars into debt. You know, beyond the point that we already are trillions of dollars in debt. And I know it's a piss in the, bucket, but $2 billion, whether, $500 million or $1 billion. I mean, I'd be happy with that for a start. But you see, they're trying to make it sound like, oh, no, $2 billion, no, that ain't shit. No. They're writing an article to people who will be lucky to have a retirement income based off of $1 million saved up. Lucky. Okay, that's not including Social Security or whatever else, which ain't going to be around anyways. And they're going, well, yeah, You'll be lucky to have $1 million saved up and live off the interest, but we got to save at least $2 billion here. And make it sound like, it's a situation of do or die. No. Any cutting of the budget is progress and a positive thing. And they know this. So they're trying to hide that fact. Because if they were able to save $1 billion, that's still quite a substantial sum and quite successful. See, they want to destroy every success that the president has, or make any potential success seem like a failure before it even happens. If Republican leaders hold on to the bill until the CBO report is released, then Ryan and his team could still redo it if necessary. That will require at least one more House vote of some sort. This is exactly what he wants, because he's hoping to fuck things up so that it doesn't get that additional vote. So it does get that additional vote, or it just sits there and dies. He's not stupid. He's a Soros little puppet, bitch, little shitbag, okay, who should never have gotten in office, but the whole, got into where he is as the majority leader, but he rode in on Trump's coattails and made it sound like, oh yeah, I'm part of that, when he was never Trump before that. And people took the snow job. The guy's a little con artist, like I said. He's exactly the type of person that you would expect to have, like, pounce on you and be on you like a cheap suit at a car lot. Okay, and I'm not talking a new car lot. I'm talking a sleazy, like, really, really sketchy used car lot. That vote could be cloaked in some kind of arcane procedural move, but it would still be depicted as a proxy for yet another vote on the same bill, and reluctant Republicans would once again be forced to decide whether to back it. Only this time they would also be saddled with the CBO's latest findings about the bill's costs and impacts. They don't have to be, because you know what? The CBO has no fucking say, you dumb shits at Bloomberg. And whatever what the hell your name is, you stupid author. Okay? You're trying to friggin' play a game, and you're trying to push this bullshit narrative, okay? And anyone with an IQ in double digits that has half a clue is able to see through this shit. I mean, come on now. Republicans had a sizable deficit reduction cushion, $150 billion, before several amendments were added to the bill at the last minute, including changes allowing states to legalize much skimpier health insurance plans. So, wait a minute. By allowing consumers to purchase health insurance plans that don't have stuff that they don't need, like, say, birth control, abortion because they're a guy, things like that. Oh, heaven forbid. Because, all you idiot leftists, especially you guys at Bloomberg, thinks that everyone needs an abortion. Not realizing that men are not anatomically, able to have the pregnancy to have one. But yet, Obamacare pretty much forced people to have it on their plans. Some people were men that it happened to. Budget assumptions. Well, considering Bloomberg, this whole article is talking out of your ass assumptions, you're one to talk about anything assumption-wise. It is unclear what assumptions the CBO will make about what states will do with that newly created flexibility. If millions of people sign up for much cheaper minimal insurance, that could trigger billions and potentially even hundreds of billions in costs over a decade because of the House bill's health insurance tax credits. We've got to wait for the CBO score, said Greg Walden of Oregon. Oh, actually, let me chime in on that. So they incentivize people getting cheaper plans and paying more out of pocket, instead of forcing them with Obamacare to get shitty insurance with very high deductibles. that they have to pay a ton for. To me, that sounds like a win-win situation. Like for if Trump Care gets through. It's a win-win for the person. It's a win-win for the government. Even with the tax credits. And they're talking about assumptions by the CBO. So they're trying to say that Congress, that the House, needs to look at the CBO report. But then they're just saying right here that the CBO is going to be making assumptions, as in assume, as in make an ass out of you and me. So they're going to be talking out of an orifice that was never meant for speech. Proving my point of what they did the last time. They inflated everything on the note of the numbers. Oh my God. Bloomberg, you just basically destroyed your freaking article right here. Because you're going, oh, CBO, CBO, CBO. And then you're talking about the CBO making assumptions, assuming. Without having the proper facts in order to make at least an educated guess. Interesting. We've got to wait for the CBO score, said Greg Walden of Oregon, chairman of the House Energy and Commerce Committee, which authored much of the bill, to prove that you meet the reconciliation test. No! Walden, shove that theory that we needed up your ass, dude. Because you know what? We're about getting shit done. We got great unemployment rates right now. It's been the lowest since, like, Reagan. Okay? Trump is making Clinton, Baby Bush, and Obama look like fucking morons for what they did to the economy and employment. That's another thing that they don't want. The rhinos and establishment on the right, the neocons on the left. You know, your all your little shitbag Democrat leftists and liberals. You know, they don't want that. Because, I mean, Trump has already made Clinton, he's done more on the note of getting stuff done than Clinton, Obama, and Bush have. Both Bushes, actually. So, I mean, they're going to report this bullshit, and they're going to stop reporting on facts, and they're going to make it sound like the CBO, like they're doing here, actually has a say in our government when it's a bunch of pencil-pushing bureaucrats that don't have any power. But Bloomberg wants him to, obviously. But other senior Republicans weren't aware that the leaders had been holding on to the bill. Well, of course, because Ryan's a little shitbag, a little sleazy, slimy, scumbag, piece of shit, who, like I said, you would expect to find in one of those really bad used car lots, and that he would jump on you like a cheap suit, and be on you like a cheap suit, I should say. I had no idea, Dennis Ross of Florida, another member of the vote counting team, said Thursday, adding that the prospect of another vote does concern him, or does concern me, doing the quote. So, they're keeping this from a guy who's a part of the vote counting team. I think someone who's on the vote counting team should have a freaking right to know what the hell's going on, where he's counting the damn votes for the thing. That makes fucking sense to me. Oh, that's right. Ryan's being a little shitbag. Democrats' criticism. Every school child knows when you pass a bill in the House, you send it to the Senate, said Louise Slaughter, the ranking Democrat on the House Rules Committee. You don't hide it in a drawer somewhere for 2 weeks while you wait for information that should have had before you passed it. Well, actually, you don't need any information. You could say this. We're going to have a bill that the sky is green, and from now on, everyone has to address the sky that the sky is green. You could still pass that. See, so she understands that it can go right to the Senate, but she's trying to make it sound like the CBO, filled with Democrat-appointed little bureaucrat shitbags, is going to fucking screw them over. Because she wants that report that they're going to inflate with all their assumptions. So that they can go, oh, see, Obamacare is better. Even though it's wiped out. insurance in a lot of states to where there's no insurance, except not even in some cases, like because the states opted out of Medicaid. But there's nothing, and you're screwed. The Speaker and other Republicans urgently pushed their May 4 floor vote, despite a polarized Republican conference, using the frantic final hours to win over holdouts. Even so, 20 Republicans still voted against the bill. After the bill squeaked through, Ryan and other senior Republicans dashed to the White House for an unusual celebration of a one-chamber vote. See, the thing is I'm sure Ryan was working behind the scenes to fuck this over. I'm sure he didn't expect this to pass. But there were a lot of people out there. Pence was, I guess you could say, campaigning for it with the members of the House. Others were as well. So they stopped him from pulling the shit that he's been pulling, and he don't like the fact that he got defeated not once, not twice, but 3 times with Trump. Because the last time this went, oh, we gotta let it, we gotta go put it to bed for now. Oh, we gotta worry, yeah. You know, he talked out of his ass, and then it came back, and now he just got bit in that ass. That 217 to 213 tally appeared to be a rare legislative victory for them and President Donald Trump, even if the vote was a difficult one for some rank-and-file House Republicans who had qualms. Some have since been hit with protests in their district and anger from constituents. What they're not telling you is it's little Antifa punks, okay, and leftists who sympathize with Antifa punks that all have no problems with violence or anything like that, because it hasn't been peaceful protests. Now, 2 weeks later, the American Health Care Act, H.R. 1628, hasn't been transmitted from the House to the Senate, according to Senate Bill Clerk Sarah Schwartzman. Well, of course, because Ryan's being a little shitbag weasel, used car salesman type, who's like going, well, I'm going to go talk to my manager, and he's going and walking into a room, and he's basically in there looking at porn, pulling his pud, going, yep, we're doing that right now. Don't worry, I'm going to get you the best deal you possibly can. Yep. And, you know, he's got like this tape recording of like the manager, and he's having that argument with him. Well, that's what he's basically doing here. He's being a little sleazeball. Republicans who argue that this was an open and transparent process. Republicans who argue that this was an open and transparent process are misleading the American people, Hoyer said. Really, it was pretty open and transparent from what I could see, and I know I have more than half a brain. If they have to amend the bill next week after they are informed of its effects, then they will have a very difficult time doing so, given the fierce backlash over Trump care that we've seen in the days since passage. Well, that's why you just pass the fucking thing, because the CBO filled with, again, Democrat hired and appointed little bureaucrat scumbags who love the Democrat tit, who love the fact that they've got job security by voting Democrat, because Democrats love big business, big government, love to have dependents that need to have a job supplied by the government that couldn't survive in the real world, because you know these bean counting pencil pushers, if they had to go get a job at an accounting firm, would probably last 6 months, if they're lucky. But you see, when you're a government employee, you can be a complete waste of space and have job security. Why do you think you have so, like the New York teachers have, the U.S. Post Office has the same exact setup where the employees who are like should be fired because they're complete mental cases, because they've got, you know, behavioral problems, because they've assaulted people, whatever. They have a place where they go every day, okay, and they get paid to go there because they've got job security. Do you think they're going to shoot themselves in the foot when they have that type of job security? Of course not. They're not going to go and say a Republican thing's good. The CBO should just be ignored. Drew Hamill, a spokesman for House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi of California, oh God, said in a statement, as the public heat continues to rise, more and more members are getting scorched for walking the plank for a bill that has no chance of success in the Senate, or may have to be amended. He never said the or may have to be amended, okay? He's as delusional as his boss, Nancy. Is senility contagious? Because the Senate's controlled by Republicans, the House is controlled by Republicans, and this stupid little fuck and his boss don't think that it has a chance of passing. Oh, God. I love the stupidity of the left. Having said that, this is the Constitutionalist Libertarian. If you like the video, please hit that like button, and if you like and if you would like to see more content, definitely subscribe. And you all have a great day. Thank you for watching.